What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Elevator Life.
What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Nick is finally back here in Guangzhou, so we can start producing a lot of content, so we're excited.
Yeah, my trip to Beijing went really well for business. Wine consumers are getting smarter. That's the biggest takeaway from this show. Very happy to see that. Some great South African wines there at the show as well. Our wines performed fabulously as usual. And my other takeaway from Beijing, pollution. Do not plan to visit there or live there anytime in the near future. Not the city for me.
Is that why you were so slow going to the gym today?
Yeah, it took a while. My lungs were just not used to that bad air quality I had to deal with in Beijing, but I caught up. We're all good.
It's interesting, too, the difference that can happen in two different cities, because Guangzhou is by no means a clean, clean air city.
Yeah, not at all. But this really, there was like a storm was always brewing in Beijing. That's how you could visualize that grayness that just hung over the city every day I was there.
It's like the movie The Chronicles of Riddick, where it's like doomsday and the sun's blacked out and you feel like you're gonna die.
He loves that movie. I don't think I've seen it, but
all right,
I take his word for it.
But seriously, it can be really bad.
Yeah, definitely. But today's topic, what we want to jump into, very exciting for everybody who's interested in coming to China, because today we're going to talk about the top 3 opportunities we see in China right now.
Yeah, and these have changed over time, like everything does. The more you're in a market, the more experience you get, the more educated you get, you're able to refine and really take away where the opportunities lie, and not necessarily the biggest opportunities are the best, especially for our audience, especially for many entrepreneurs that are trying to start out. So that's what I'm excited to talk about today. Is we're not going to talk about in general the 3 biggest opportunities in China. I mean, we get some really high, I would say, request emails of. I got an email the other day of if we knew Jack Ma, and
yeah.
Sorry, I mean that would be awesome if we did.
Would love to know it.
But we're kind of living here in the real world. So today we're going to talk about 3 opportunities that are perfect for all of our listeners, for people starting out of the gate.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 opportunities in China if someone wants to start doing business here?
Yeah, and so starting off with number 1, we're going to talk about the internet, of course, hands down. Huge opportunity here in China. He did a post earlier on it this year, but we want to just go a little more into detail right now, just about, we've been told the wine market's messy, and then we look at the internet, which they say is just an absolute mess, and that just screams opportunity.
Yeah. So this week, actually, I forget the name, but the 2 founders of YouTube just launched a new app, which is basically a copy of Vine for Asia, for China, and that should just speak heavy volumes to really what's going on here in the app and in the internet entrepreneurship scene and e-commerce and all that kind of stuff. There's a big opportunity there, and we're definitely diving in headfirst as well.
Yeah, just everybody, there's like a vibe about it. Everybody's trying to get into it. There's a lot of startup events based around it. A few friends of ours that we've mentioned before are involved in it, so we think right there, if the market's messy, that always means that you can get in there and try to, help become an authority and clean it up.
I would just like to speak a little bit too, like I did in my other video on the internet. Go check it out. We will link to it below. But also the real idea of copying successful ideas in other countries, the importance of both understanding the country that you're in, so understanding the culture of China, what makes businesses successful here, what people and how people act on the internet, but also understanding and having a foreign perspective of why the business was so successful in the country that it came from. So there's 2 really important perspectives when you're looking at entrepreneurship online in a foreign country, and the people that have been successful here online have both perspectives, and that's what's really important, because China's fantastic at copying things on the internet, and a lot of times you will hear, oh, the internet space is so cluttered. Well, yes, the way that people, especially the way that Chinese people are building business on the internet, that's extremely cluttered. But this outside perspective and bringing in the outside perspective on where you can really dive into why it was successful and then put a little Chinese aspect onto it to make it perfect for the market, that kind of partnership, that kind of group those people are finding really a lot of success here in the market.
Yeah, I couldn't put it any better. Yeah. If you understand both of them, you're on your way to success.
So get your butt out here. The internet's growing fast. Okay, number 2, product development. We love this. I'm not talking sourcing. I'm talking you either work with a company that can do your sourcing, but I'm even more talking for people to come out here, live at cheap price points. Okay, for a developing entrepreneur, we know how important that is. You can really get by on low expenses, and then you can be here developing products that you can yourself sell. So I'm not talking necessarily sourcing for other people. Of course, that is a huge opportunity. I'm more specifically getting your butt here on the ground and developing products.
Yeah. In regards to product development, as you know, our roommate, good friend Ryan, developed his product on Kickstarter that was top 3 in fashion, in the fashion section on the website, just because
go big
did very, very well, and it's just been able to see, it really helped us realize, along with a few other friends who are doing the exact same thing on other crowdfunding sites as well. They're able to just take their idea, do the whole development thing themselves in China, and then it gets perfect to where they want it, and then they just launch it on those platforms, or they get back in touch with their audience and connections back in the States. And it just goes to show, that's really feasible. And the most important point, the cost of living here is so minimal that you can come over, live your life for a few months as your product develops, and then you start getting into the real business.
Exactly. With all these platforms, these great group buy platforms, these crowdfunding platforms, you're able to launch products like you never really have before.
Yeah.
You're able to get them in front of such an audience that this real business model of developing prototypes, developing new products at low cost point or low price points. I don't mean like cheap products. I mean, you can develop them. You can develop a few prototypes, really get them out there in the market in front of so many people to give you feedback on, is this a viable venture?
Yeah.
That business model is exploding right now, and I think it's a great opportunity for any entrepreneur that is looking to start something.
Yeah, the idea of building stock beforehand doesn't exist anymore. So all that capital that goes into stock, no, you need your prototype, you need your platform. Is it going to work? Yes or no? Pretty easy, straightforward answer.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Number 3, another one that we really like is services for foreigners. We've seen over the past few years this huge influx of foreigners continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, not just in Guangzhou, but even the cities we visit.
Mainly because of us, but there are some other reasons.
A lot of people are just coming out in hordes, but
gotta tell them to slow down, everybody.
But even these second tier cities, these third tier cities, we go back and there's like a new Western franchise or a new foreign franchise rather, and it's just showing, wow, there's a lot of people coming here, there's a lot of people starting up these businesses. That's a very big opportunity to help everybody, because every foreigner we've met has one of those Chinese horror stories when they first got here, and all those could be avoided if these services, get developed.
Yeah. Well, this block right here, I just realized you guys probably know exactly where I'm talking about, but anyway, the block right next to us, there's gonna be about 8 office buildings, and I'm talking 60-story office buildings, huge. Okay, opening here in the next year, 2 years, and you know how many foreign businesses will be filling those areas. It's just obviously, it's obvious. Foreign businesses are doing more and more and more business here. China's expanding at a rapid rate. Southern China's expanding at a rapid rate. Anyway, that creates a huge opportunity for developing things that make traveling to China, apps, internet websites that make living in China, finding food in China, communicating in China, life in China, better for foreigners. And not just English-speaking foreigners, but foreigners from any country.
Yeah.
That's a huge opportunity, not just strictly setting up foreign restaurants, but take it even farther, especially with internet apps, all that kind of stuff. I think those are great opportunities for people to really pursue that can be really low-cost businesses to get off the ground.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing when he said low cost. These aren't capital intensive. Some of these platforms, they have the dominating ones, but maybe some of these niches, business, network, etc., what have you, you can build these platforms, you can get an audience because the potential is definitely there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking at online and apps developed for foreigners living in China. I think that's fantastic. But I think you can take that idea to many developing countries. It is a much smaller market. It's very niche. Obviously, you look at the population in China, you would love to develop something for that. But that's why these opportunities we're talking about for somebody new. Because if you're moving over here yourself, you're going to understand all the problems that foreigners deal with when they move to China. Yeah. That will give you a ton of ideas to develop problems that you can fix, which is exactly how and why you should develop businesses around and fixing certain problems that you've dealt with.
Yeah, it's that first notch in your belt. As you develop that, then you understand the culture more and see about developing something for this domestic market. And then we're talking big money.
Big money, big markets.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, guys, we're a member of Regis over here. If you're a traveling entrepreneur, check into Regis. They provide, what was it, a year free?
Yeah.
I think they're still doing it. I think they still do a year-long membership. We'll try and find if we can dig out that link. But definitely, if you're ever traveling around, they've got offices in almost every big city where you can stop by and work. And also, we're using Asana now as our company management platform. It's free. If you are running multiple tasks, multiple projects, definitely make sure you're on a project management platform. It makes having employees at different, or not virtual employees, but kind of nomadic employees, I want to say. You're with them some of the times, but you're not with them all the times. It makes really working with them and setting up their structure, because their updates on what they've completed come in real time.
Yeah.
It's really good for that kind of stuff. So check out those if you're an entrepreneur with any kind of those needs.
Efficiency is key, and we'll leave you with that.
All right, guys. Well, it's a holiday over here, so it's about time for us to go have some fun. So we gotta go.
All right. Cheers, everyone.